Miami Dolphins jokes, NFL jokes. Q. What do you use to sack the new Dolphins quarterback? A. Your fishing tackle. Q. Did you hear about the joke that Ryan Tannehill told his receivers? A. It went over their heads. Q. Why can't Ryan Tannehill use the phone anymore? A. Because he can't find the receiver. Q. Why did Bill Parcells go to the bank? A. To get his quarterback. Q. What was Chad Henn's latest injury in a Miami Dolphins uniform? A. A torn labia. Q. What do you call a Miami Dolphin with a Super Bowl ring? A. A thief. Q. How many Dolphins fans does it take to change a light bulb? A. None. They are happy living in New England's shadow. Q. What's the difference between the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins? A. The last Patriots Super Bowl team picture isn't in black and white. Q. What do the Miami Dolphins and a Chick-fil-A manager have in common? A. Neither one shows up for work on Sunday. Q. What's the difference between the Miami Dolphins and a dollar bill? A. You can still get 4 quarters out of a dollar bill. Q. What did the Dolphins fan say after his team won the Super Bowl? A. Damn it, Mom, why'd you wake me up? I was having an amazing dream. Q. How are the Dolphins like my neighbors? A. They can't pick up a single yard. Q. What did the Denver Broncos get for trading Brandon Marshall to the Miami Dolphins? A. A first-round pick and a felon to be named later. Q. How do you know the Florida State Police are seriously enforcing the speed limits into Miami? A. For the first offense, they give you 2 Miami Dolphins tickets. If you get stopped a second time, they make you use them. Q. Want to hear a Dolphins joke? A. Ryan Tannehill. Q. What's the difference between the Dolphins and cigarettes? A. Bill Belichick doesn't smoke cigarettes. Q. Why is Ryan Tannehill like a grizzly bear? A. Every fall he goes into hibernation. Q. What do the Miami Dolphins and possums have in common? A. Both play dead at home and get killed on the road. Q. What is the difference between a Dolphins fan and a baby? A. The baby will stop whining after a while. Q. How many Miami Dolphins does it take to change a tire? A. 1, unless it's a blowout, in which case they all show up. Q. What do you call 53 millionaires around a TV watching the Super Bowl? A. The Miami Dolphins. Q. What do the Miami Dolphins and Billy Graham have in common? A. They both can make 70,000 people stand up and yell Jesus Christ. Q. How do you keep the Miami Dolphins out of your yard? A. Put up goalposts. Q. Why are so many Miami Dolphins players claiming they have the swine flu? A. So they don't have to touch the pigskin. Q. What is a Miami Dolphins fan's favorite wine? A. We can't beat New England. Q. How do you stop an Miami Dolphins fan from beating his wife? A. Dress her in New England red, white, and blue. Q. What is the difference between a bucket of shit and a Miami Dolphins fan? A. The bucket. Q. If you have a car containing a Dolphins wide receiver, a Dolphins linebacker, and a Dolphins defensive back, who is driving the car? A. The cop. Q. How do you castrate an Miami Dolphins fan? A. Kick his sister in the mouth. Q. What should you do if you find 3 Miami Dolphins football fans buried up to their neck in cement? A. Get more cement. Q. What's the difference between a Miami Dolphins fan and a carp? A. One is a bottom-feeding scum sucker, and the other is a fish. Q. How did the Miami Dolphins fan die from drinking milk? A. The cow fell on him. Q. What does a Miami Dolphins fan do when his team has won the Super Bowl? A. He turns off the PlayStation 3. Q. What do you call a Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl? A. A referee. Q. Did you hear that Miami's football team doesn't have a website? A. They can't string 3 Ws together. Q. How many Miami Dolphins fans does it take to change a light bulb? A. None. Lava lamps don't burn out, man. Q. What's the best way to teach your dog to roll over and play dead? A. Have him watch a couple Miami Dolphins games. Q. What does a Miami Dolphins fan and a bottle of beer have in common? A. They're both empty from the neck up. Q. Why do Miami Dolphins fans keep their season tickets on their dashboards? A. So they can park in handicap spaces. Q. How do the Dolphins spend the first week of training camp? A. Studying the Miranda rights. Q. How do you keep a Dolphins fan from masturbating? A. You paint his dick New England red, white, and blue and he won't beat it for 4 years. Q. Why do the Miami Dolphins want to change their name to the Miami Tampons? A. Because they are only good for 1 period and do not have a second string. Q. What's the difference between the Miami Dolphins and the Taliban? A. The Taliban has a running game. Q. Where do you go in Miami in case of a tornado? A. Sun Life Stadium, they never get a touchdown there. Q. Why do ducks fly over Sun Life Stadium upside down? A. There's nothing worth craping on. Q. Why doesn't Orlando have a professional football team? A. Because then Miami would want one. Q. Why are Miami Dolphins jokes getting dumb and dumber? A. Because Dolphins fans have started to make them up themselves. Q. What's the difference between Miami Dolphins fans and mosquitoes? A. Mosquitoes are only annoying in the summer. Did you hear that Sun Life Stadium had to be resodded? That's really sad when you can't even get your own grass to root for you. Child welfare. A 7-year-old boy was at the center of a Fulton County courtroom drama yesterday when he challenged a court ruling over who should have custody of him. The boy has a history of being beaten by his parents and the judge initially awarded custody to his aunt, in keeping with child custody law and regulation requiring that family unity be maintained to the highest degree possible. The boy surprised the court when he proclaimed that his aunt beat him more than his parents and he adamantly refused to live with her. When the judge then suggested that he live with his grandparents, the boy cried and said that they also beat him. After considering the remainder of the immediate family and learning that domestic violence was apparently a way of life among them, the judge took the unprecedented step of allowing the boy to propose who should have custody of him. After 2 recesses to check legal references and confer with the child welfare officials, the judge granted temporary custody to the Miami Dolphins, whom the boy firmly believes are not capable of beating anyone. Patriots fan. On the first day of school, a first-grade teacher explains to her class that she is a Dolphins fan. She asks her students to raise their hands if they, too, are Dolphins fans. Wanting to impress their teacher, everyone in the class raises their hand except one little girl. The teacher looks at the girl with surprise. "Janie, why didn't you raise your hand?" "Because I'm not a Dolphins fan," she replied. The teacher, still shocked, asked, "Well, if you are not a Dolphins fan, then who are you a fan of?" "I am a Patriots fan, and proud of it," Janie replied. The teacher could not believe her ears. "Janie, please tell us why you are a Patriots fan." "Because my mom is a Patriots fan, and my dad is Patriots fan, so I'm a Patriots fan too." "Well," said the teacher in a obviously annoyed tone, "that is no reason for you to be a Patriots fan. You don't have to be just like your parents all of the time. What if your mom was an idiot and your dad was a moron, what would you be then?" "Then," Janie smiled, "I'd be a Dolphins fan." 4 football fans. A Redskins fan, an Eagles fan, a Dolphins fan, and a Patriots fan are climbing a mountain and arguing about who loves his team more. The Redskins fan insists he is the most loyal. This is for the Redskins. He yells, and jumps off the side of the mountain. Not to be outdone, the Eagles fan shouts, this is for the Eagles, and throws himself off the mountain. The Patriots fan is next to profess his love for his team. He yells, this is for everyone, and pushes the Dolphins fan off the mountain.